are talking today about math, in particular GeoGebra. Now, my school has upgraded our curriculum this next year to, I'm very excited, we are doing illustrative mathematics. Now, I was asked, which partner should we go with for illustrative mathematics? And I said, don't spend your money. I don't want a partner because I know that GeoGebra is coming out with free illustrative mathematics, and it is available now. It's no longer coming. It has come. And I have with me today my guest, Monique Zhao from GeoGebra, who has put in like so many countless hours and talent into getting the illustrative math curriculum into GeoGebra. And did I mention that it's free? Monique, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Alice.
So tell us what you guys have been working on.
Yeah, so as some of you know, we have been working on getting the illustrative mathematics curriculum onto GeoGebra. And we've had the 6 to 8 curriculum out. And in this past year, we've been working on having the high school 9 through 12 curriculum ready. And now it is fully available. It is ready for you to use, especially for your upcoming school year.
Is so exciting. It feels like forever ago that I found out that you were starting to work on it and had to keep it to myself. And then you said, hey, we got a few sample ones to go. You did it really quick though.
Yeah, I have a great team who worked on it, and we have been able to add a lot of the GeoGebra feature sets to help make the curriculum interactive and just usable for a more digital classroom.
To me, that is really the key. I'm really excited about using illustrative mathematics this next year. I'm going to be teaching geometry. Obviously, my school teaches more than geometry. We have algebra and algebra 2 classes, and we are all the algebra, the geometry, and the algebra 2s. We've committed to using the illustrative mathematics. So I'm looking forward to showing everybody how we can do this in GeoGebra, because while illustrative mathematics is amazing and it is award-winning and it really stretches students to be thinkers and doers of mathematics and get away from the old model where we do the thinking for students, as many of our textbooks were designed, what it kind of lacks, is the ways to get it to be really interactive, because the illustrative mathematics website, and correct me if I'm wrong, Monique, provides PDFs. Now you can get a paid partner who provides some of the materials in a digital format, but not necessarily in the way that GeoGebra does. Although I do know that one of the partners does integrate some GeoGebra elements, but that is paid, and we're talking about free.
That's correct. Yeah, the illustrative mathematics is originally paper-based. So there's a lot of having to have like printouts and a lot of handouts. But now we're making it a lot easier to distribute and organize all the students' work.
Now, would it be fair, Monique, to say that I can kind of go back and forth with the print paper materials that I can get for free from illustrative mathematics, or that I can pay money for with a partner who will print it for me? I could use those in conjunction with the free illustrative mathematics that's on GeoGebra, yes or no?
Of course, yes. So actually, we've heard feedback from different users that they've been able to use GeoGebra in a fully digital classroom, like kind of they were forced to, but then they've also been able to use it in hybrid formats, and then also using it for a fully in-person classroom where students have their own devices, and yet they're still able to do work in person, either on the device or switching back and forth between, paper and device. There's a lot of different options, and I think GeoGebra just helps to just widen your options.
Well, I am no hater of paper. I love what technology allows us to do. I like to say that paperless is not a pedagogy. Please use paper, and there's lots of great reasons to. And illustrative mathematics is certainly a great reason to use paper to ask different questions. It gets students to really do the thinking. But we can really elevate this through using GeoGebra tools. Now, I saw that Tim Brzezinski sent out a tweet today. Can I mention that? Is that we have now changed the button that says create class into lesson?
We can have a look at that.
All right, so I will just share my joys and frustrations of using GeoGebra. GeoGebra is amazing, and what it allows me to do is to create all these elements that allow students to explore math and to really reflect and be thinkers and find patterns. And what I'm able to do is share it out in a live class session where I can see all of the students working in real time as they're manipulating the applets and they're doing the GeoGebra activities. I can click the button lesson, and I can instantly distribute that out to my students quick and easy. It used to say create class, and the rumor is that it now says lesson, which to me makes a lot more sense. So I'm really excited about the clarity of language, because that's what we're talking about today is our lessons of illustrative math are now available in GeoGebra. Sorry, I threw you under the bus there. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. No, yes, it does say create lesson now, just to clarify.
It's a minor difference, but sometimes it's those little things that make you really happy. So Monique, would you like to show us, if I was wanting, well, let me ask a couple more questions. If I was wanting to teach math using illustrative mathematics with GeoGebra, do I need permission?
No, you do not need permission. You can actually just go straight to our site and look it up. So actually, if I could share my screen, I can show you right away. So this is the GeoGebra homepage, so geogebra.org. And you can even search up GeoGebra IM if you want. You can Google that and it'll pop up. But let's say let's say you're on the GeoGebra homepage. The first featured resource is actually a link to the illustrative math. So if I click this, it'll take me to this tab. I have it up so it doesn't have to take time to load.
Can you do a Control Plus, just zoom in just a tiny bit?
Oh yeah, sure thing.
There we go.
Yeah. And so you'll see that we have our middle school and high school curriculum on the site.
I did have someone ask me today, what about grades K6 or K5? Is that maybe in the works, or is that something they're still just going to access from the Illustrative Mathematics website?
It is currently, IM is releasing that this year. So it is not going to be available immediately, but if we hear a lot of feedback, keep talking, and then that is something we could pursue.
Okay, great. Even though the K5 illustrative math is not in GeoGebra right now, there is some sample things on the illustrative website, but there is nothing stopping you from just using GeoGebra with your K5 students. There is a ton of great activities. Some of my favorites is money sorting and allowing students to look at how they change money and look for these patterns, even at the kindergarten, first grade level. So thank you. Right on the resources, under featured resources, there is a whole thing for elementary school math. So don't feel that if you're K5 that you're being left out here. We are today specifically talking about the illustrative mathematics curriculum that is free on the Illustrative Mathematics website, that is actually available digitally and interactively through GeoGebra.
Yes. And then specifically, I wanted to show from this page, you see middle school and high school, that when you click the link to high school, you'll see that we have the 3 core courses, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And I wanted to take a look at an example lesson from Algebra 2, specifically in trigonometry. So if you click through some of the unit links, you'll come to this page. So this is I am Algebra 2, Unit 6 on trigonometric functions. And I'm going to take a look at a lesson later in the unit, modeling circular motion. And so I'm going to click on the student material. So this is the student facing materials that they'll see. Yeah. So you'll see that we have both the lesson and practice components. And up here in the top corner, you can see that the button has that language of creating a lesson, the live lesson for students. And you'll see that these are there are questions here and answer fields for students to input their responses. And then we also have different elements like here, like a GeoGebra applet. And this gives students more flexibility in how they want to input answers, whether it just be freehand drawing or different shapes, or even like other elements like text or maybe a table, equations. You know, maybe they have their own picture or something could upload it theoretically. It's all available here. And another reminder that it's free. You don't have to pay for these features, and you're not going to have to pay for them in the future.
Alice, you're on mute.
Thank you. I'm not sure where. I love GeoGebra Notes. And to be clear that this is available free, and I love that it is going to be free. If you go to the Illustrative Mathematics website, you're going to see that it is free curriculum, but they have some partners, and you can see who those partners are. I won't mention who they are, but I was quite shocked to see how much some of that costs. So they're able to do is print everything out for you, or you can print out yourself for free. Well, free plus the Xerox cost. So they'll do that, but GeoGebra is going to offer this to you digitally, absolutely free, with no cost and no contracts.
Yes. So something that I wanted to show is many of you have seen what GeoGebra lessons look like. Some of you have even seen how a classroom is made. But I wanted to show how you could customize your own lessons, just to tweak it a little. IM is an OER, an open educational resource, which means you have the permission to make copies of it, to edit it and remix it for whatever fits your classroom the best. So here is an example of where all you have to do is just, you show up to this lesson. I like this lesson on modeling circular motion. I'm going to click on the 3 dots and access this menu, and then just copy the activity. And this creates a copy. It doesn't affect the original. You're not going to change the work that I've done. And what will happen is GeoGebra makes another copy for you. It'll make a new a link that'll be saved onto your profile. And yeah, the questions are right here, and each question you can make edits as you want to. So if I click on it, maybe I wanted to mention like maybe I had an activity last time involving one of my students, and I might write, remember the activity with Sarah's bike or something, maybe customize it just a little bit, add some names, or I can even remove entire questions. I can make copies. I can delete, a question and remove it. I can add my own images, and do all that. So if I wanted to say like add an element, I can go all the way towards the bottom. I can add an element, and I can just add text, videos, and image. I can just add another question. Maybe I want it to be like a multiple choice question. And then for multiple choice, these ones are usually select all apply questions that you can code to automatically grade for you. So I might, give 2 options, and A will be the better option for this case, A for Alice, right? And there you go. And this is a question that will be automatically graded. So why don't I save this for now? And even just to make sure I don't lose anything. But yeah, I can just also rearrange questions. I can just drag and drop, move things around. So as you can see, GeoGebra gives you the control and some of the flexibility you need with some of the content. And I know that that can be really important in a classroom, especially when it has to deal with, like, pacing or personalization.
I love how easy that is.
Yeah. And then something that I get questions about is, I've seen some like really cool apps on GeoGebra's site. Can I do something with those as well, even though I might not know how to code? Well, yeah, you can. So, one of the simple add-ons I like to do for lessons is just to add GeoGebra notes, give students a space to,
yes, I love
maybe draw
GeoGebra
those
notes.
Yes. Some you need to sometimes you just need to encourage your students to draw a diagram. They like to do a lot of their work in their head, and sometimes it helps to clear their thoughts.
If I could just jump in, for those of you who don't know about GeoGebra Notes, if you go to geogebra.org/notes, it's this whole standalone whiteboard with multiple pages. As Tim Brzezinski says, it's the Google Slides of GeoGebra that students can draw. They can insert applets from GeoGebra. They can integrate web pages and PDFs and all kinds of amazing awesomeness. And this was definitely one of my go-tos this last year, was geogebra.org/notes. And I was able to make like a whole template in it and distribute a copy to each student, which was editable, where they would personalize it and show their math strategies and thinking. And so I just love GeoGebra Notes as a standalone, and the ability to be able to insert it into an activity just continues to blow my mind. It makes me incredibly happy. I love GeoGebra Notes.
Yeah. And then, so you can actually also insert more like creative things that you might have seen. You might, search on the GeoGebra site. So here I have an example of, let's say you just go to geogebra.org, and maybe you're, I want to look for maybe something to do with, I remember I saw something interactive that had to do with the unit circle. And maybe something like this, this is a resource that someone has made, and what it is, it's taking there you go. Where what you can do is you can drag the slider. Here, let me. And you can see a point going around, just something really simple, right? But I didn't have to code this myself. This is a resource that is just free and open on GeoGebra for you to use, just in general. So what I can do is I can actually copy this code that's in the URL. There's a little digit, about an 8-digit code, I believe, and then you can copy that. And then you can actually add that in. So I'm going to add
I've always done it with the whole link. Do you now, you have to just do the little code? You can't do the whole link?
You can also do the whole link.
Okay.
Yeah, so here I'm going to click on GeoGebra, so it's an applet, and I can search for it. So I'm just used to doing the code, so that's just been my workflow. Yeah, and so I see it pulled up right here, and I can add it. There you go. So here's, yeah, okay. So here it is in my lesson, and I'll just drag this up. towards the top. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, and so like let's say I close out of this page. I don't have to worry because it's going to be saved in my profile. So if I go to my profile, here you go. So here is, yeah, now my copy of the lesson where the applets are loading.
I think we all fought the internet this year.
Yeah.
It's hard
But
when you're streaming, when you're on video, it just chokes up your computer.
Yeah. But
no worries. I know that it works. I've seen it work. I've done it myself.
Yeah, you can see the rest of the questions are here. We talked about Sarah's bike. You know, we added that.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the same thing is with this copy, I can create a live session with my students and share the link.
Which is now create lesson.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how excited I'm about that.
Should we take do a run through of?
Yeah, let's do it. Want to create lesson? Let's share it out and let people see what it looks like. So if you'll get the link and paste it into the private chat. Oh, I do the same. I date whenever I make a copy for a lesson. I always put the date in it.
So why don't I drop this link, and everyone can feel free to join. You don't even need an account to try this out with us, but an account does help save your work. Yeah. All right. I have 3 students in my lesson. It might, 4. Yeah, it might take a little bit. My internet's a little slow, I think.
Can I ask a question for Eleanor?
Yep.
She asked early, is the auto grade only available if you customize it as part of your lesson?
No, some of the, so all of the select all that apply or multiple choice questions in our IM curriculum is already pre-coded. It'll already do that checking. Most of the other questions, a lot of the short answer, the interactive components, any, playing with the figure or showing or drawing your work, those are what I call formative assessment items. And so that's more just to help teachers monitor kind of the students' thinking and their progress. It's not really for grading assessment. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I can see, this is my colleague, Rob. I can see that he hasn't answered any questions yet, so he's probably playing around with the first applet. Let's take a look. Oh, I can see in the thumbnails that he started working on a question. You can see Hannah started working on one of the questions. Yeah. Yeah, so I can see that Krista started answering that question here.
So if it's asking you for account, it should give you an option to sign in. Krista is actually me because I just put that in as my fake student name that I always use. I just chose not to use the login. You can log in. It won't hurt you if you just want to log in with your Google account. If you've never logged in with a Google account, it's going to ask you for your name and some setup things. But I've done it 100 times. It's pretty quick and easy. You don't have to use the login. You can just type in your name, which is what I did. And now, so let me ask you a question. Can you require that they put in their name? Does it have to be optional? They have to log in?
So you require for the students, they have to, if that's your question?
Yeah, do they have to log in? Can I force them to log in instead of just putting Charlie Brown?
Ooh, no, there's not that option yet, but that is something I can pass along to the team.
Now, they do have to log in if they want to save their progress, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to come back to this, you would have to, go back in, type in a new name, and then start your work over again if you exit it out. Your browser might save this session, but it's going to be hard to find this class again, basically, if you don't have an account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a second. I'm going to pause our class.
Oh, yeah, the screen just paused out.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot of different implications for this, and there's a lot you can do with it. And I think it's just up to you to explore how you can really use it in your own classroom.
Yeah, this is really great. I am so excited to have this resource. I used GeoGebra all last year. It is definitely a game changer and really getting students to interact with math, taking it off of the flat paper and finding those patterns and sharing, and then being able to see everybody all at once. Not only do I love doing that, but then I can kind of pop it up and it facilitates class discussion because I have all the student work at the same time while they're working on it in live time. We can use those for discussions without waiting for kids to pass forward their paper or to raise their hand.
Yes. Yeah, and then, there's a lot of ways that you could use it. There's an anonymize function. So, you can hide the names of everyone.
Definitely.
And then maybe even show someone's work on the screen. Maybe just say hey, let's talk about it without anyone having to feel like they're put on the spot. I know that it can be as a student, it can be a little scary to have the teacher walk around and look over your shoulder at your paper. And then
firsthand, I know they hate that.
Picking one out of the pile and trying to show the classes. So I think there's just computers they can make a big difference just in little ways.
I know that I know they're participating, right? And when they're walking around and I can see kids are writing when I'm walking around. There's nothing really substituting walking around, obviously. But, when I've got it tiled up there with everybody's, I know they're participating and I'm able to see what their struggles are all in one place and then throwing it out for kids the kids should be doing the talking. And so that really becomes the game changer for me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This was awesome. Thanks for sharing this. I just want to encourage everybody to please tell everyone you know about geogebra.org/IM, which whenever I type that, it autocorrects it to I''M, and that will not work. So make sure it just stays IM, and you can use this for grades 6 through 12. All of the curriculum is in there for free. So please don't feel like you need to go ask your principal to spend a bunch of money to go with one of the Illustrative Mathematics partners. You can start tomorrow redesigning how you interact with your students and your class. And I think this is really exciting. So thank you, Monique.
Yeah, thanks, Alice.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us.